It's another beautiful day right here in the international studios of Atlantic TV, and it's a Viewpoint, a program that is specially designed to indeed make your day really awesome. And the best way to make your day truly awesome is to start off in the right note. And that's what we always do right here on Viewpoint. My name is Michael Gobadia. And you do know I'm never alone. She's always here seated by my side and looking pretty beautiful this morning. I need to say so.
Thank you so much, Mr. Michael. You know, I said it the last time. I love how you introduced me. Well, and I am always looking forward to that.
I'm not like Mr. Kess.
Yes, good morning. This is Mercy Erabos saying welcome to Viewpoint on Atlantic TV. And you know how we do it right here on Viewpoint. We start with the dailies and the dialogue, the news, and of course the trending. And you know how we do it on the trending. And today I have loads of gist for you. You don't want to miss any part of it, right? Okay, so we'll be going on the dailies now. But before then, we need to take this quick break. Don't go anywhere.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Well, the papers is where we're going next, and for review today we have four papers. We have The Punch, we have The Nation, The Guardian, and also The Vanguard. And for us to quickly start, let's see if we go straight to The Punch and see what they have as a major one on their front page. And no surprise, 2027, Norton rallies voters as Southop's pre-registration list. And there were a few kickers to that. Osun Lagos Ogun lead on as online pre-registration hits 3.5 million as 288,614 complete physical exercise. Northern Governors Parties Group unveil campaign to close widening regional voters gap. But anyway, to get more of that story, I'll just implore you to go to page 2 of The Punch. Let's see if we take some other leading stories at the top marks of The Punch this lovely morning, Tuesday morning. The compensation raw may stall 712 billion naira Lagos Airport revamp. That story is on page 30. JAM uncovers over 6,000 AI biometric malpractice is a major one on page 21. And well, there's others. Nupeng short depot as federal government Dangote talks draw or drag. And well, it was not really a nice sight yesterday up to this morning. The issue of that very impending strike is affecting a whole lot of Nigerians. And I just hope they really get all of that quickly resolved. But anyway, you can just resolve more of that story on page 37. Let's see if we take some other stories just at the side marks of The Punch this morning. OPS rejects 5% fuel subcharge as TUC threatens strike. Remember, we looked at this critically yesterday on our dialogue, but I'll just tell you to look up that story on page 37. Kaduna violence, El Rufai ADC leaders shun police invitation is another major screamer on page 21. World Cup qualifier, can Eagles fly high in Bloemfontein? Well, anyway, that match is scheduled for today in South Africa, and indeed a major decider to see whether I will make it or not. But page 3 has more of that stories. 2 killed in fresh Lagos court clashes is a recurrent decima on page 4. And seize allocation, court hears Osun suit against CBN. And you can get more of that story on page 21. But what's in the picture of the day is that of some major governors. We're talking of that of Ogun State, and not only that, Zamfara also, as they were at the African Trade Fair in Ojas in Algeria just yesterday. Well, that's the much you can take from the Punch newspaper.
All right, let's see what the Guardian has for us this morning. Yes, the major story here reads how Japa vandals, investor fatigue, keep telecom services below par. And that's on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. Let's see what we have at the top mass. JAMB uncovers 4,251 cases of biometric fraud in 2025 UTME. That story is on page 4 of the paper. A zoning debate, a blackmail to weaken opposition parties, says Momodu. That's on page 3 of the paper. CVR, over 3.5 million Nigerians pre-register in 3 weeks, says INEC. That's on page 3 of the paper. Let's see what we have at the side mass. Rada confirms negotiation with bandits in Castina's frontline local government areas. Well, that's on page 28 of the paper. Let's go to the bottom mass. Opposition flees National Assembly for 149 trillion naira debt crisis as federal government defends reforms. That's on page 6 of the paper. Osun challenges transfer of local council funds case to Abuja. That's on page 5 of the paper. Labour warms up for higher minimum wage negotiation. I know Mr. Michael is happy about this. That's on page 15 of the Guardian newspaper. Shawore kicks as DSS gives ultimatum to retract false, malicious, anti-Tinubu tweets. Well, this has been going on for how long now? So that's on page 5. You can read more of that on page 5. At CUC, Pengasa back Nupeng's protest as federal government seeks truce. Well, that's on page 3 of the paper. And the picture of the day, but we have a graph here. It's talking about the major headline, talking about telecom's biggest pain points in 2025. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Guardian newspaper. Let's see what the nation has for us today. The major story here reads, Edu, soaring revenue, cuts and debts raise economist profile. And the rider says 38.8% debt to GDP ratio below global benchmark. Borrowings tied to projects. Well, you can read more of that story on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Okay, over here, FHA plans high-rise buildings in Festac Town extension removal. That's on page 27 of the paper. Let's not toy with oil sector, Minister cautions union. Well, that's on page 4 of the paper. Let's go to the top mass. EFCC grills Sojimoto CEO over 5.7 billion contract fraud. That's on page 5 of the paper. Courts to hear Osun Council's funds applications September 22nd. That's on page 5 of the paper. Okpewolo employs 1,000 cleaners, and the rider says outsourcing of jobs end. Well, that's on page 28 of the paper. Let's see what we have at the side mass. A tax reform laws now in government gazette. That's on page 4 of the paper. Yes, UTME cheats face 3-year ban. Well, that's on page 6 of the paper. Police probe a body found at the National Assembly car park. That's on page 29 of the paper. And the picture of the day, well, it's talking about Abiodun to the African Continental Free Trade Area in Algiers. You can see the Ogun State governor there, Dapo Abiodun, seated at a panel alongside other dignitaries at the Intra-African Trade in Algeria yesterday. Well, that's all we're taking this morning on the Nation newspaper. Up next is the Vanguard.
And on the Vanguard this morning, no surprise, politics seems to be taking center stage. And it reads, 2027, Jonathan Camp, PDP top shot, whoa. Not Michael Gobadia, but Peter Obi. And you can get more of that story on page 5. And kick us to that, ex-president Oli Sultanan that can beat Tinubu. Well, anyway, they can just come over to me. But anyway, let's leave that and go to the topmost side of the Vanguard and see if we get other major ones. Speaker Abbas, ADC, PDP, Bika over Tinubu responsible borrowing. And if you want to be responsible on that, go get that story on page 26. And 5% fuel consumption tax, TUC issues 14-day strike notice. It's a major one on page 9. Tinubu orders overhaul of military operation after Bronu massacre. is a major one on page 10. I'll be looking at this critically on the dialogue as we look at the growing insecurity and the recent call for state police. Will it solve the problem? Just stick around and you'll be enjoying all of that later on Atlantic TV. Oil prices to fall below $60 as OPEC eases output cuts. Don't cut away that story, but read more of it and you get all of that juicy G's on page 20 of the Vanguard newspaper. Let's see if we take some other leading stories at the sidebars of the Vanguard. Violations. Kiamu direct NCAA to start public shaming of airlines. And you can get more of that story on page 26. Kwara APC chairman's wife, daughter kidnapped. Whoa. And well, that very sad story is on page 6. And we're talking about the World Cup and to see if Nigerian men will sleep well this evening and the women will be happy. 2026 World Cup qualifier. Chile orders Lukman Arokodare Simon to shoot down Bafana. Well, anyway, pray the shots are there if the bullet still exists. But you can just get more of that story on page 32. What's on page 8 is federal government to Dangote Nupeng. We should not toy with the oil sector. Pegasin Petran orders issue strike notice or threat. And that story is on page 8. And we right here on Atlantic TV will also be pleading with them. The oil sector is important. Please, let's not toy with it. But what we'll not toy with also is the picture of the day. And you can see no other, but a warm handshake, but more of a collaboration handshake. Atiku visits Tamboa as they prepare for 2027. Well, that happened yesterday in the residence of Tamboa, well, in Abuja. Well, that's the much we can take from the Vanguard and honestly from all our dailies. Like we said, or we'll always insist, if you find any of them juicy enough for you to have a look at, well, do yourself a favor and read them all up later. But for now, we'll tell you, still remain with Atlantic TV. It's still Viewpoint. And the dialogue will come next. But remember, also around the hour, that's 10 o'clock, we're in time for the news. And a lot seems to be. But what also is trending will make a very lovely one, as already she's trending with a head shake. But anyway, that's how it is. Let's go on the break. I'll come back next on dialogue.
All right, my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is Osh, baby.
CME Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife, Ninja Celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV. We wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
I am SP Dafe Bright and this is Delta State Police Command. Today we'll be treating and addressing an issue that's different from what we've been doing before. Not parading suspect this time, but bringing to you a very important information. Do we know that over 85% of Nigerians do password their phones, whether it's Android phones or iPhones? There's always a password. But how come when we lose our phones, by the time we go to retrieve our lines, we go to our bank to check our bank statement, we discover that these people who collected these phones must have siphoned the phones. Now, there are times the people who steal these phones, it is not your phone that they actually need. What they need is your SIM card. Now, how does the SIM card become useful to them? Not just any SIM card, but a SIM card that is linked to your bank account, the one that you usually use to receive SMS alerts. That is what they need. Now, by the time they collect your phone, steal your phone, rob you of your phone, what they do is that they remove this SIM card from your phone and insert it on another phone. So your phone does not really need to power on. They don't even need you to give them your phone password. They don't even need your ATM password. The moment they have access to your SIM card, they can do anything they want to do with your bank account, because all they need is to generate an OTP, and the message, the OTP that is called one-time password, will be sent to that your SIM card, and with that they can do anything they want to do with your account. That is why people lose millions of their life savings simply because they lost their phone. By the side of this video, we'll be doing an illustration. You will see an illustration that talks on how you can password your SIM card. Now, the topic that we are here to discuss, passwording of SIM card. When you get a phone, pick that your phone now. See how you can password your SIM card. If you password your SIM card, by the time for any reason, your phone gets to the wrong hand, even if they remove your SIM card and insert on another phone, the first thing that you will get is a prompt that you should enter your SIM PIN. The moment they cannot get the SIM PIN, they cannot use your SIM card for anything. After the trial of 3, the POC prompt will come because the SIM card will be blocked, and you can only unblock that SIM card when you have the POC number. Some of us don't have our SIM pack, because on the SIM pack it is written there the SIM PIN and the POC number. But because some of us don't have our SIM pack, I would advise you to quickly locate the nearest office of your service provider, be it Airtel, Globalcom or MTN. Approach them and request for your POC number. Once you've gotten your POC number, you follow these instructions and ensure that you password your SIM PIN. Your SIM PIN is very, very important. On my phone, for instance, once you turn off the phone and you turn it back on, you must enter your SIM PIN. If you cannot enter your SIM PIN, the SIM card will be useless. And I'm telling you, once they cannot have access to your SIM card, your money will be safely in the bank. They cannot have access to. There was a time I lost my phone, and it took me about 2 weeks to go to MTN office to retrieve my SIM card. Why did I wait 2 weeks? Because I knew I had a SIM PIN. I knew they would not have access to my bank account. I knew they cannot even use my SIM card for anything. Some of these people, when they steal phone, we'll be hoping that, we'll track the phone. Some of them don't even sell the phone. They will just condemn the phone and just get the SIM card to see if they can have your money. Please, they say a word is enough for the wise. It is very, very important. Don't see this video and just pass it by. Watch this video to the end. We're almost approaching the end of the video. Ensure that you take the lesson. Please password your SIM card. They say a stitch in time save 9. It's very, very important. Make haste when the sun shines. Not be to come. You don't have to start running and start saying, what do I do? What do I do? When you can prevent it. Let's not forget, prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined, uniquely different. When the lights go out, who do you call? Ticado! Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Ticado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Ticado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at ticado.com.ng. Ticado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace. Ruth Gender Foundation.
I'm Ruth Edema Collins. I hold a first degree in physics electronics, a postgraduate qualification in business administration, and a nationally certified French language tutor. Career-wise, I'm an educational facilitator. I'm the managing director at Atlantic Media and TV, and I'm also a director at Rukotech Integrated Services Nigeria Limited. I'm a wife and a mother, and I like dressing up to show up. Yeah, so that's basically me. Thank you. Root Gender Foundation was inspired from my personal experiences growing up as a young girl in a typical Nigerian environment. For me, it was being different. It made people bully me, abuse me, and harass me. I was always misunderstood and underrated. Root Gender is a foundation that is dedicated to building confidence in the Nigerian girl child through educational and inspirational programs, like supporting programs that promote girl child education. We also organize physical exercises for our young girls for the overall well-being of their mental and physical states, and also for the acquisition of self-defense skills. We also sensitize girls on laws that protect them. In our constitution, a lot of girls do not know that they have rights, that there are laws that protect their interests in Nigeria. Hence, they are vulnerable, they are living in fear, which is stopping them from reaching their full potentials. So we sensitize them on the laws that protect their interests. This, like I said, is visioned towards building confidence in the Nigerian girl child. So that is just a wrap-up of what we do at Root Gender Foundation. I would say I resonate with the struggles and the challenges of the girl child, particularly the Warri girl child. I happen to grow up in the heart of Warri. I'm from an average background. My family is an average one, but I experienced a lot. Like I said, I was bullied, I was overlooked, I was harassed for being a different child, for daring to be different, and nobody was taking note and tapping into my potentials. So my interest for the girl child is I would love to be a voice for the girl child. They need people to believe in them. They need people to speak for them. I also want the Warri girl child to know that there is hope beyond the reef. I want them to see the bigger picture. I want them to know that they can compete on global platforms. They can compete on international platforms. and they can do very well. We have the likes of Ada Gold, or Maumi, and the rest of them. They are all competing very well on international platforms, and I know that you too can do that, and I want you to know that is why we are here. Root Gender Foundation is here to make you understand that you can actually be what you want to be. As part of our objectives at Root Gender Foundation, we are dedicated to promoting girl-child education. Like I said, I represent the brand Warri Girl Child. I represent the brand the African Girl Child, because I have gone through the struggles from there to here. So giving 2 million to the best female participants is just a way to share them on. It's just a way to make them know that we believe in you. I believe in you. You can look up to us. We are sharing you on. It is not about the money. We believe in your potential. We want our girls to know that you are doing the right thing at the right time. You are in the right place, and this is what you should be doing. That's why we are supporting you, and we will always be here to support you. Girl-child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect our girl child. You know, my NGO, we've been pursuing a bill that we will see to be passed. We are asking that our girls should be allowed to carry pepper spray as weapons of self-defense. Because if you look at it, our women have nothing to protect themselves. They are just there by the grace of God. So we are pursuing laws that will protect the girl child. So empowerment, girl child empowerment to me is enforcing laws that protect the girl child, educating the girl child on time and money management, financial literacy, and equipping them with self-defense skills. Also, access to quality education. This to me is girl child empowerment and nothing more. A girl child must possess effective communication skills. They should be able to communicate effectively. A girl child should be financially literate. She should know how to manage her finances, and she should also know how to manage her time. Yes. Also, most importantly, another skill is self-awareness. It's important for our girls to know who they are, to believe in themselves. That's the vision of our NGO, building confident girls that can achieve their full potentials in Nigeria. That is our NGO's vision. So yeah, those are some of the skills I believe that the girl child should possess. She needs role models. She needs people that have led that path and have made it. Our young girls need role models. That's why we have to do better. We have to do the work. We have to bridge the gap. We have to share them on like we are doing. You can achieve your dreams. First, you have to make education your best friend. Every effort you put into learning will always be there for you to never fail you. Boys will break your heart, people will break your heart, but every effort you put towards learning anything, everything will always come through for you. So for you to achieve your dreams, look towards the right people, look towards the right direction. There are people that have achieved in that route. I will encourage you to look up to them, learn from them. That is just the way to achieve your dreams.
It was indeed a bloody weekend across Nigeria, which left at least 102 people killed, including security personnel and suspected bandits. In Borno, Sokoto, Edo, and Katsina State. In Katsina State, 7 people were killed when armed bandits raided Magajinwado village between 11 p.m. and midnight on Friday. The attack was initially repelled by the Community Watch Corps and a vigilante security group to protecting local communities. However, as the corps members were evacuating the injured to hospital, they were ambushed by the same bandits in what appears to be a revenge attack, leaving that huge casualty figure. In Sokoto, in a remarkable display of community resilience, residents of Shagari Bumasa village reportedly killed 15 bandits in a prolonged gun battle lasting several hours. But in Borno, it was indeed a different story, as the bloodbath was done by Boko Haram insurgents who launched a deadly attack on Dara Jama, a community near Bama, killing 63 people, comprising 5 soldiers and approximately 58 civilians. Well, the weekend violence underscores the counting security challenges facing Nigeria and multiple regions across the country, from banditry and kidnapping in the north to insurgency in the northeast, court-related killings in the southwest and south-south, and kidnapping in the southeast, which all has significantly heightened the insecurity crisis in the country and added to the growing call for the creation of state police, and also hence a need for us to talk about it on this awesome edition of Dialogue. We're talking about the growing insecurity and a call for the creation of state police. And that's what we're having as a major discourse today on Dialogue. We're talking about the issue of the growing insecurity in the country and the recent call for the creation of state police. And to truly help us talk about this is indeed an elder statesman and somebody that's indeed pained by the recent development, especially as it concerns insecurity in the country, and someone that indeed has also had great knowledge as it concerns the security architecture of the state and the country. And I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. This will be the first time he's joining us on this lovely platform. Good morning and welcome to the show, sir.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Well, anyway, it's one of sadness.
Yeah.
That we faced during the weekend. And we want to, first of all, pay our condolences to those families that lost their loved one. Our thoughts and our prayers are still with you as you go through this trying period.
Indeed.
But as much as we've said that, I'm really also pained that we are here at this critical point after spending so much. For example, we spent about 1.38 trillion in 2023 on defense. We spent 1.647 trillion in 2024 on defense, and we spent a whooping 3.64 trillion. We budgeted that for defense, and I know a huge chunk of that has already gone into the security architecture. But here we are still not winning the battle against insecurity. What do you feel we're doing wrong?
Thank you, Mike. We lack the political will to solve this problem.
Political will?
Political will. Banditry was alien to Nigeria. Alhaji Baraji, an APC chieftain in Kwara State, had said about 2-3 years ago that banditry was imported into Nigeria by the late President Buhari. And various platforms, this had been emphasized and re-emphasized and re-emphasized. If we are going to address banditry, we must begin from there.
Okay.
How did bandits come to stay in Nigeria? Who brought them? You recall Buhari government gave Mieti Allah,
Yeah.
100 billion naira. 100 billion naira, Mieti Allah. And in the various publications being made, that Mieti Allah facilitated the importation of bandits into Nigeria. Otherwise, 100 billion naira given to Mieti Allah. For what? Was Mieti Allah given a contract to construct a road, to construct an airport? How come they were given 100 billion naira?
As
what for? As what for? What for? It's also said severally that El Rufai, then governor of Kaduna State, was paying bandits to keep the peace in Kaduna State. Incidentally and unfortunately, El Rufai has been loud in the press this past 1 week that federal government had been paying bandits to keep the peace. That leaves a lot of questions to be answered. How come you are paying them? Means you know them. If you know them, why are you not dealing with them? The first responsibility of government is life and security of the people. So, when I said first thing first, let's find out what brought banditry into Nigeria, who brought banditry into Nigeria, and from there we move on. That will serve as a learning thing, and also will serve as a deterrent for a future reoccurrence of this kind of situation.
Okay, now, as much as you've traced the recent uptick in violence to lack of political will, I want us to also look at another major one that was highlighted on Sunday. Now, we do know that the Northern Elite Nationality, a Northern group, forum called on President Bola Ahmed Tinubu just on Sunday, that you also think of changing the service chiefs. They feel the security architecture has worsened because of lack of leadership on that ground also. So I'm not forced to ask you, undermining you feel strongly that the political will is not there. But do you think a change of service chief will be in order to deal with this? Because this is not the first time a recent call for the change of service chief. If you could still take your mind back to the era of former president or late president Muhammad Buhari, we had an uptick of violence and there were growing calls for the service chief to be changed. And immediately they were changed, we saw relatively success, especially as it concerns the issue of insecurity. So do you feel the call for a change of service chief is in order, or do you feel, oh, well, that will lead to little or nothing at the end of it?
You see, when you are appointed to a position, there are responsibilities that are tied to that position. And there must be consequences for not meeting those responsibilities.
Okay.
You are here in this beautiful television house with a job. With that job, there are responsibilities, and there must be consequences for your non-performance.
Of course.
So, if the service chiefs are not performing, and they are not performing because there is increase in insecurity, that's the only yardstick you know whether they are working or they are not working. When there is peace, they are working. If there is no peace, if there is insecurity, then they are not working. Change them. But it's not just changing them. Let there be punishments, consequences. Let there be consequences for imperformance. Look at one. Is it chief of
defense staff?
One who was saying that rather than kill a cow that's straying into farms, you should arrest the cow. Arrest the cow, then get the owner to pay damages. That killing them will not solve the problem. But what if the herders themselves are the first to attack?
Then how do you resolve that?
How do you resolve that? Because when a farmer, sees the herders on his farm, first of all, he's agitated. He's concerned for his life. I used to be a farmer. And that was a major concern why I pack up. I can't go to the farm and be looking all over my shoulder if X-Men are coming to kill me. So, when a chief of military formation is now saying no, 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 no. Don't kill the cow. Don't do anything. Just arrest them. How do you arrest a cow? That man should not head a military formation. Be it the army, air force, or navy. He should not. By virtue of that statement alone, he disqualifies himself. So he should leave. They should leave. They should be changed.
Okay, now, still talking about the service chief. I want us to still remember the service chief. Just last month, precisely should be on the 22nd of August, the CDS, the Chief of Defense Staff, I'm talking about Christopher Musa, General Christopher Musa, came out to say that an uptick in violence should be traced to the build-up to the 2027 election. And he feels that politicians are the ones doing this, all in the sense to get something to talk about, to get failures to feel that, yes, this government is not performing and they have issues to campaign on. So I want you to also look at that. Does he have a valid point in saying that the reason, because in all honesty, if you look at it, we lost about 2,816 persons in the first half of this year. When you look at the same time of last year, we lost just 1,800. So really there was an uptick, especially this year as it concerns violence. So my question, do you feel he's valid with that very point he made?
Well, he knows why he said that.
Well, because he also has the whole security.
Well, he has his own information.
Yeah.
But it boils down to consequences. If politicians are stirring emotions that led to increase in violence,
yes,
arrest them and prosecute them. Arrest them goes back to political will.
Yes.
Somebody is deliberately stirring emotions that have increased insecurity, violence in the country. He has committed a crime. You see, you don't incite violence. Inciting violence is an offense, punishable under the law. Arrest them and deal with them. But when you now go on to the air, you go on television or radio or whatever, and start casting blames, that again is checking your responsibility. It's checking responsibility. If somebody is...
But don't you feel his hands are tied? Because some of these persons might also be having reasonable political gains. And not only that, there might be persons in high places that are seemingly untouchable.
Yeah, that means you are saying Nigeria is divided into two classes. Some above the law, some below the law.
But are we not?
Huh?
Are we not divided?
I don't know. We are divided economically. And every society is.
Okay.
I agree that wealth, accumulation of wealth in the hand, brings impunity. I agree to that. But in any society, if you start to make some people to be above the law and to remain above the law, despite all the things they say and do that mitigate against security, then what are you doing? Lack of political will. It comes back to that. Lack of political will. Nobody is above the law. Nobody is above the law. Whatever it takes to cure our society of this insecurity, let's do it. Let's do it. We are here now talking because we feel safe.
Yes.
If we start hearing shooting outside, we will dodge under here even when there's no space to hide.
Well, anyway, we hope and we pray it doesn't come.
It doesn't come.
Yeah. Okay, now, as much as you've said this, well, in case you're watching us, yes, it's Dialogue on Atlantic TV, and we're looking at the growing insecurity and the recent call for state police. Just like my introduction, I did make mention that we lost about 102 persons in just one weekend, which is indeed a high number, and one that is already raising a whole lot of concerns and a need for us to really look at the growing insecurity. What should be the best way forward? Is state police going to curb and cure all of that irregularities, or do you feel, like he said, more political will need to be dragged in by this administration to deal with the contending issues? Well, all of that issues and more is still on the center stage on the Dialogue today. And like I said, we still have no other person but Chief Olori Magege helping out with the discourse. Now, I don't know, I'm just really interested with the Chief of Defense Staff today, because he said a lot, especially as it concerns security. And you agree with me that when we talk about insecurity, he's the man at the helms of affair.
Indeed.
So in all of that, let's listen to what he says, pick holes in them if there are any, and find solutions to them. Now, in May, to be precise, I could still remember, in July, in Ibadan, while speaking at the second distinguished personnel lecture hosted by Tech Fund at the Great University of Ibadan, the chief of the defense staff also said something that was a bit interesting. He talked about the proliferation of small arms, and he said our porous borders are a reason we're having heightened insecurity. And even made mention of us having almost 200 million of such small arms scattered around the country. On the mining, we have about 1,000 of such around the continent, but almost 40% of that is in Nigeria. But I want us to leave not just the small arms, but come to the issue of the porous border. Because just last week also, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, while the visit of some northern governors from the northeast paid him a visit, a courtesy visit, he also made mention of the porous border. But my next question now is, the porous border has always been a challenge. Even then of former President Muhammad Buhari, our porous border has always been the reason we have bandit attack. They come into our porous border, do the attack, and sometimes retreat, either to Chad or Niger. So my question is, why is this border looking so much of a problem that we're not able to man those porous borders? Is it that there's no solution in dealing with the issue of our porous border? And how much of a challenge has that been?
It's a big challenge.
Yeah.
There is Hausa in Niger.
Yes.
There is Hausa in Nigeria.
Most certainly.
They move across the boundaries. And when you talk of a boundary that is not demarcated, it's just a line. You walk across, you are in Niger. You walk back, you are in Nigeria. The same with Chad. The same with Benin Republic. The same with Cameroon.
Yes.
There is no fence. When I was coming into this yard, I got to the main gate. I was stopped. I know that I'm getting into Shell Ogunu. I know it. And that realization makes me a bit nervous.
Yes.
Because here I am going to a foreign land.
Yeah.
But not so. The people in Idiroko, they are Yorubas.
Yeah.
Across are Yorubas. They probably are related. So they move. They cross the border. So the issue of the border, even if you put a fence, people will climb it. For one thing, the economy of Nigeria is better than those of those countries. And there is a natural migration towards from a place of low economic
to that of heightened economic.
Are you getting it? So people will continue to move across the border. Secondly, we use a lot of their manpower in our farming communities.
Yeah.
So there is a wave of unqualified, untrained hands, farm hands, to come to Nigeria to work, and they get paid, they go back. They have their families over there. We have to come up with a homegrown security mechanism to check these people.
Okay.
Migration.
It's not like we can stop migration.
We cannot. It's not possible.
Okay.
It will be a waste of money.
Okay.
It will be a total waste of money. Because when you man a post here, and the whole place is desert, the whole place is savannah land, how are you going to police a boundary of over 3,000 miles? How are you going to police it? How? It's not possible. It's just not possible. We must recognize that this is a problem and devise a method of curbing the nuances of it. That's all we need to do. Or if not, concentrating on it. Where is all the fuel going? Where was all the fuel going before? Before the fuel increase in price?
Yes.
Were they not being smuggled through the borders?
Our brothers.
Also, things are being smuggled from there here. Well, we look at what goes out. We don't look at what comes in. Yeah. So many of the cars that come from Benin Republic, they are smuggling to Nigeria. Yeah. Are you getting me? Yeah. Those smugglers think that Nigeria is a good business area to go to. We need to have a think tank, an institutional legal framework that is properly thought out to find how we can harness that as an opportunity
rather than
a cause. Okay. But banditry is a cross-border thing. People steal, they come here and commit crime and they go. Not just in the north. There was a time during Obasanjo time when people were coming, when there was a gang coming from Benin Republic
to steal cars. Shut down the border.
Yes, to steal cars and kill. So it's not just a northern problem. It's across here. It's in Cameroon end, it's in Nichad, it's in Niger, it's in the Republic of Benin. So it's a major problem.
Okay, well, anyway, as much as we're dealing, or you saying it's a major problem, we're trying to deal with the problem of growing insecurity.
Yeah.
And it looks as if the northern governors had a telescope, or they had a talisman that told them about the future. And the reason I'm saying this is, just last week, we know they visited President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And they were being led, I'm talking about Northeast governors, and they were being led by no other but Diko, the governor of Katsina State.
Yeah.
And it looks as if they saw what will happen just this weekend, the high rate of persons that were killed in that very region. But that's not where my question lies. Where my question lies now is the reaction coming from Mr. President last week when he said, because of this growing insecurity, he's now thinking towards the issue of state police. Now, my question, because this is the bone of our discussion, on the mining we've looked at the insecurity and the reasons why we keep having it not being handled at the moment. I want us to also look at the issue of state police, because the growing insecurity, there's every certainty that the national police cannot really handle or police the large, vast area that Nigeria seems to be. And we're having just only 377 police personnel manning over 200 million persons, with a huge chunk of that on VIPs alone, leaving the rest populace to be little or not manned by police officers. So my question now, directly to you, can the state police really do anything different?
Yes, of course. We've got one form or the other of state police now.
Okay.
We may not just be calling them state police. Amotekun is a state police.
Most certainly.
ISPA in Kano is a state police. The various vigilante group that we have to augment the services of the regular policemen is a pseudo state police. What is lacking is there is no legal framework to recognize and support them. Amotekun, for all intent and purposes, is state police. Okay. We can't run away from that.
Yeah.
But vigilante group in our various communities, we will all have packed out of our communities. And why are they effective? They are effective because they are homegrown. Homegrown. The vigilante group in various communities are the youth in that community. Some are even born-again criminals who became born again and decided to, who were Saul and later became Paul. So that is the issue we're talking about. We need state police. We need state police. Everybody that I've spoken to, they are in support of state police. Their only concern is that how will the politicians not use them
to be instruments of their own accord?
But
I'll plead with you, because we need to really dig deep into that very aspect of the state police. But what we need to do also now is to go on a break. And when we come back, we'll continue our discussion as we talk about the growing insecurity and the recent call for state police, not a call that seems to be jettisoned, because President Bola Ahmed Tinubu says he's holistically thinking of the idea and might really it might really come to existence, especially during his tenure. But what we'll do, let's go on a break and we'll come back and have more discussion.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
My name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
All right, guys, back again. Yes, boss. My name is baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up, people? It's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Niniola.
My name is my wife Naija celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Well, we need to welcome you back, and well, in case you're still joining us, it's a dialogue on Viewpoint on Atlantic TV, and today we're talking about the growing insecurity and the recent push for the creation of state police to augment the national police and also see how better policing will definitely be around the different states in the country. Well, you totally agree with me that the cry seems to be loudest now, and there's every reason for that cry to be, especially with my introduction saying that we lost 102 persons just during the weekend, and is one that is putting a whole lot of agitation and fears, especially on the minds of Nigerians. But anyway, we are not scared talking about the issues, hence we'll always do so on a dialogue on Atlantic TV. Now, yes, like you also do know, I still have our guests right here. I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege, giving us an insight on what we need to do. Yeah, we talked about the issue of the creation of state police, and I want us to still continue there. Now, when they paid him that courtesy visit, I'm talking about the Northeast governors just last week, he talked that he's really thinking holistically into the idea of the creation of state police. And with our own knowledge, we also do know that in February of 2024, the federal government set up a framework to help to see how they can, rather a committee to help study the framework for the creation of these state police. But my next question is, yes, we've had issues in the past as it concerns national police. Yeah, one thing that many Nigerians are saying is the issue of poor funding. Let's look at that, because that's also a major problem. With our own immediate investigation right here on Dialogue on Atlantic TV, we found out that each police station gets a quarterly 45,000 naira inquest. And what we mean by inquest, we're talking about monies for operational cost for each station, which is greatly inadequate. And we also do know that if these state police are being created, it will now be manned not by the federal government, but by the different state governments. And some state governments are not even able to pay 70,000 naira minimum wage, talk less of creation of a state police. So Nigerians are scared. Would funding that has always been the bane of not making the national police not perform also not cripple or creep into the state police and make it look ineffective? How do we work around that problem that is there? Funding or poor funding.
You see, I've worked closely with the police.
Okay.
When I was head of vigilante group, task force in Agbaro,
okay,
during the crisis era for Bada, General Bada presidency with youth.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of their problems. The federal government pays their salaries.
Yes.
And they're on their own. They're on their own. That is why it has been impossible for any government to deal with the issue of bail, money for bail, 20 naira on the road.
Sorry, now it's about 200 naira.
Oh, it's 200 naira now. 200 naira on the road.
Has been alleged though.
They're all allegations. They're all allegations. They're all
Mm.
allegations. I agree, they're all allegations. But we think that that money goes into the pocket of the officers. No, they use that to buy fuel. Now for the 5,000 naira a month for a
operational cost.
For operational cost for a division. Would that buy fuel for a day? For all the operational vehicles? We do not. So they must work. And how do they work? They work with the public support, public funding. Let's use that word. The public funding.
Well, I like the way you
we have to be creative.
Way puts public funding.
It's public funding of the
the
police.
200 naira, okay.
You see, you go to the police station, they say you want to make a statement, bring 100 naira, 200 naira for paper, 300 naira for biro, because those things are not provided for them. And are they going to use their own money to buy them? No. So public must fund. You need the services, you pay for the services. Well, it's when you are hurt by a criminal that you go to the police. You don't go to the police just for friendly visit.
No.
So you go there for their services and you pay in whatever form. In whatever form is public funding. And we can't run away from that. Yeah. You run away from that, you deceive yourself. Secondly, it's always on the air when the state buys them vehicles. The state buys them vehicles.
Yes.
Security fund, the security vote that we hear all the time governors have, local government.
That is not accounted for through the...
Who takes all? It's the police that takes all. It's the police that take all. We know that. There must be allocation for all these security apparatus in the state budget. There must be. I remember there was a commissioner of police in one state, I think Ondo State, long time ago, who was complaining bitterly that that state was very stingy with resources, and they should come to Delta State and see how government takes care of their security apparatus. That indicates clearly that the state is deeply involved in the funding of the security apparatus. So, creation of police, state police, will not necessarily be a financial encumbrance on the state.
Okay, because
they're already doing
the states are not alien to the issue.
Yeah, they're already doing it. They're already doing it. It just matter that they will expand. They will expand it. And maybe again we'll expand public funding. Maybe we'll legitimize public funding. If police is to charge for their services, for them to perform, for heaven's sake, let's do that. Because we are bothered by insecurity. Yeah. In my town, Agbaro, every compound pays 2,000 naira every year for security. Yeah. That's a levy. If you don't pay, you are in a problem. It's to fund against security apparatus of the community. Yeah. So, security can't be free. And when there is a problem, we find a way to help to solve the problem. Okay. You won't believe that some of those VIPs who have policemen with them, you buy uniform, you buy weapons, particularly bullets, for them. If you are going to get a total security from them, you buy these things for them.
Rather than waiting from
allocation, from the regular services.
So all you are saying, you feel the states can be able to fund them?
The state can do it. Federal government is not. How much is federal government funding?
Okay, now let's come to another major one that you talked a bit about before we went on the break, and it's still in the front burner of many minds of many Nigerians, the issue of the abuse or the perceived abuse that will come from state executives attacking their opposition on account of using the state police. And not only that, but seems to be the head of everything, and everything has to flow through them. So let's talk about that. I know you said a proper legal framework will be able to curb that, but should Nigeria still not entertain that fear, knowing that how sometimes, forgive my language, how sometimes some of these executives seem not to be mature enough to know that even if they are number one in the helms of affair and there's an opposition, the opposition is just there to criticize for the betterment of the state. So let's look at state executives holding these apparatus and using them against the opposition.
You see, it isn't that the points, the checkpoints are not there for the governor not to misbehave. A governor can be impeached. House of Assembly is there to checkmate the executive. But where the House of Assembly is now in cohorts with the governor, there's a problem.
Which happens many times in Nigeria.
Which happens most of the time in Nigeria.
Okay.
But the solution is an enlightened electorate. Because the governor is accountable to the voters. The House of Assembly is accountable to the voters. An educated electorate will provide a necessary oversight function for that kind of a problem, for solving that kind of a problem, or for the overbearing attitude of the governor. Take for instance, if we have a board for the state police, and the board is made up of representatives of CAN, PFN, NBA, NUJ, Amnesty International, and the chief security officer, the chief police officer, reports to them. And those guys can
rather than the executive.
Rather than the executive. That problem will be solved to a large extent. Because you never know whether CAN itself and PFL can join together and use the police to harass. You never, Nigeria is a strange country. It's a very strange. We love to oppress the other person. We just love it. That is why when you buy a new stereo, a new sound system, you want to oppress your neighbors by letting them know that you bought a stereo and you play it at the highest level volume. We love to oppress people. And it's the law that is holding us back. And when the law holds us back, we must respect the law and we must put in position institutional framework to ensure that those guidelines, those restraints, that leash is never removed. So, yes, there is tendency for abuse. Even in the United States, they abuse. In advanced countries, they abuse. But when you abuse, you are caught and you are punished for it.
It's more like a deterrent.
Yes. So, let's not say, because this thing can be abused, let's abandon it. No. Yes, it can abuse, we recognize it can abuse, but we put in place checkmates to ensure that it doesn't happen. And if it does happen, we'll catch and we'll punish.
Okay, now, I feel this discussion, time is really well spent, and we're almost out of our time, but I feel this discussion will not be complete if we do not come home and come to Delta State. Now, in recent time, we've had beautiful relative peace, especially in the city of Warri. His Excellency, the governor himself, Sheriff Warri, has put in beautiful security architecture that have helped in every way to deal with the growing insecurity that was being experienced a couple of months ago. But in your own assertion, how can he also sustain that? That we are now, because we are now in the Ember month, and you do know what the Ember month means for a whole lot of Nigerians. The rush to attain what they've not had in a couple of months, in the beginning of the year, comes to be. And we also do know that in the Ember month, crime seems to be on the rise. So in your own view, what should the administration do to help maintain, if not even pass, this security relative peace we've been enjoying for a couple of months?
Do more of what he's already doing. Whatever it is that he has put in place, do more of it. A catalyst for crime is poverty.
Of course.
Let's find a way to ameliorate this economic hardship that we're going in now. You talk of 5% tax on fuel. This is the wrong time to do that.
Yes.
Bola Tinubu must be told, Mr. President, must be told that this is the wrong time to impose that kind of tax. People are already, they finished all the belting of their stomach. And you are saying, 30 more 30. What is it to tie? They should break their bones. Like I said, poverty is a catalyst for crime. Let's find ways to cushion the effect of this economic bite. People are already 001. They eat only dinner. And the quality of the dinner is going down. Through various palliatives, through creation of job, even if it is temporary job. Cleaning of the streets, for instance, is a job. If it is 2,000 or 3,000 a day, somebody can do that to feed himself or his family. Yeah. Create those kind of jobs. But most importantly, let's not stop delivering the message of hope. You may be having difficulties today, but if you believe that tomorrow will be better, the difficulties of the day become far more bearable. Yeah. Let's continue to deliver a message of hope. This will cushion the effect of this insecurity. Yes, insecurity has always been there. Even during the time of Jesus, there were thieves. Even when Christ was crucified, armed robbers were crucified by him. That's to tell you that crime is not new. A society that determines by itself that enough is enough. They mandate the government, and the government will listen. If the government does not listen, then they change the government. Sheriff Oberewol is doing a very good job. I cannot stop this conversation without praising him. Of course, I'm the first to say he's my boss. I agree he's my boss, but that's not the reason. Yeah. It's obvious, even to the blind man, that Sheriff is doing a very, 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 very good job. More so as when we look at how we rated him as he was coming in, that he was a street boy, he's an agbero. I think we should pass a law that henceforth only agberos should be our governor.
Well, anyway, I hope that law will not come to the media and people like us will lose our job because we are not agberos. But anyway, but irrespective of that, on that very funny note, I feel we've come to the end of this discussion. And I need to thank you so much. I'm talking of no other person but Chief Olori Magege. In your busy schedule, you still had to pay us this lovely request. We requested for you to join us. And I feel you've done a great deal and a great job in dealing with the issues of the creation of state police. Undermining your field, more needs to be done, especially as looking at the framework to ensure that they will not be abused and will not go the same route or route we are, especially with the national police. I need to thank you so much, Chief Olori Magege, and also tell you or put a request that we might also be calling upon you anytime for you to also. We'll be more.
Let me congratulate your management.
Oh, thank you.
This is impressive.
Oh, thank you, sir.
This is very, very impressive. We need more of this. This is the job creation that we are talking about. Yes. 2, 3, 4 persons off the street is to be applauded.
Nice. Thank you so much for having that. But anyway, that's a wrap for us right here on Dialogue. And you do know, we'll definitely continue with the news. And trending will be up with 2 ladies handling that aspect. Well, anyway, it sounds to be fun and interesting. But anyway, I'll just tell you to stick around. But for me, God willing, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Go.
On me where I did, on me where I did. On me where I did, on me where I did. No matter where you go, no place be like home. Iwere Ubukubo tene mari, no place like our home. Iwere
Go.
Ogbowura for mercy and Bishop Tonre, Executive Bado Ishekiri Youth and Tuonus Ubenaso Dr. Berry. Ọpẹ́ pàtàkì rẹ̀ nígbà bí ẹran ní ààyè bọ́ ṣe gbẹ́nẹ́ wọ́n ń dẹ́sẹ̀ ní máa rò ẹsẹ̀ náà jù ẹni máa gbẹ̀sẹ̀ kápá náà jù nígbà bí kò tó wá gbẹ́nẹ́ ọpẹ́ náà kà ní nígbà bí ẹran ogí àmẹ́ ọgbọ́n pàfọ́másì ó wá sàgbẹ́rẹ́ bàbá ó wá tó ọgbẹ́nẹ́ ọ̀sán tó náà gbé wá níṣẹ́ kí ìwé ọ̀sánwé òun àtọ́ ìnara dédé kẹfọ́ ẹnẹ tó ń gbówé ẹnẹ lé mẹ́mí ẹnẹ nígẹ́ ni wá bí wọ́n ṣuṣẹ́ gbàgbé ìṣẹ́kí ìrọ̀wá ẹni wà rẹ̀yìn lọ́pọ̀ tẹ̀lé bí wọ́n fọ̀ lọ́jí inauguration nìyẹn ìwé tẹ̀lé kí lọ́jọ́ ẹ̀wẹ́ ẹ̀wọ̀n náà wá tí ó ní ìdúró ní ogẹ́mẹ̀ ẹ̀dọ́pẹ́ tó wá gbà ní òṣègbà nígbẹ̀rẹ̀ ló ṣe ìpàdégbọ́ tó rẹ̀ àdìdè ló ṣe ìpàdégbà àyà rẹ̀ tó tọ́nà kété gbẹ́nà ó ìṣẹ̀kí ìrọ̀gbà ó gíàmẹ̀ ẹ̀nẹ̀dọ́gbà ó gíàmẹ̀ sóò.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different. When the lights go out, who do you call? Tikado! Tikado Energy Solutions Limited, your plug for electrical power, surveillance system, and entertainment. From expert electrical installation to efficient eco-friendly solar inverter systems, no matter the size, Tikado delivers smart energy solutions designed for today and tomorrow. We also help you secure your space with our cutting-edge security and surveillance system. Enjoy crystal clear entertainment with our professional DSTV and cable TV installation. Visit Tikado today at Block F4, Suite 41 and 42, HFP East Line Plaza, Abraham Adesanya, Aja, Lagos. Or call 0906 902 5025 or 0815 176 6817. Explore our services at tikado.com.ng. Tikado Energy Solutions Limited. Power, protection, peace. Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to our daily news roundup on Atlantic TV. I am Nkechi Tejure. Here are our top stories. Federal government orders NCAA to name and shame airlines over flight disruptions. IGP appoints ACP Dolapo Badmus as Nigeria police rep to UN. Tinubu, Famehimi are my leaders, not El-Rufai, says government. 70,000 naira minimum wage no longer enough, says NLC. South Africa becomes UAE's second largest non-oil trade partner in Africa. 17 nations book sports for 2026 FIFA World Cup. Now to the news in full.
The federal government has ordered a crackdown on airlines frustrating passengers with unnecessary flight disruptions. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, says it will begin to publicly name and shame airing airlines following fresh directives from the federal government. Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Michael Achimogo, said the NCAA would no longer tolerate situations where airline staff abandon passengers and leave officials to manage chaos. Achimogo warned that the authority will apply the fullest sanctions possible for avoidable infractions, insisting that operators must comply with regulations whenever disruptions occur. He stressed that the naming and shaming of airlines begins immediately to protect passengers' rights and restore confidence in Nigeria's aviation sector. The Inspector General of Police, IGP Kayode Egbetokun, has approved the appointment of Assistant Commissioner of Police Dolapo Badmus as the Nigerian Police Force representative to the United Nations headquarters in New York. According to the force headquarters, the appointment is part of ongoing efforts to strengthen Nigeria's role in international law enforcement and global security affairs. ACP Badmus previously served as Assistant Commissioner of Police and Federal Operations at the Department of Force Intelligence, Abuja. She is also widely recognized for her professionalism during her time as Police Public Relations Officer in Lagos State Command and Zone 2 Command. Her deployment to the UN is seen as a major boost for Nigeria's image in global policing, with expectations that she will deepen international cooperation and strengthen security diplomacy. Fuel scarcity is set to bite hard in Delta State as the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, APMAN, and the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers, NUPENG, have declared an indefinite strike that began on Monday, September 8, 2025. At an emergency meeting over the weekend, both unions resolved to shut down all filling stations across the state. There were warnings that any station that defies the order will be fined 1 million naira. The unions circulated a notice declaring injury to one is injury to all, insisting that solidarity was key to defending the interest of their members. The strike, expected to ground fuel supply in Delta, may spread to other South-South states as petroleum marketers often act in solidarity during such industrial actions. Governor Uba Sani of Kaduna State has distanced himself from claims by his predecessor, Malam Nasir El-Rufai, that he is one of his mentees. Instead, Governor Sani says his political leaders remain President Bola Tinubu and the late Chief Gani Fawahimi. El-Rufai, in a recent television appearance, boasted of mentoring Sani and many others. But the Kaduna State governor, speaking in an interview on Sunday, said he has no time for such exchanges, stressing his focus is on governance. Governor Sani recounted meeting Tinubu in 1994 at the home of Beko Ransom Kuti and living with Fawahimi during years of struggle, describing them as the figures who truly shaped his political journey. While Sani once served as El-Rufai's political advisor, he insists he will not be distracted by personal remarks, adding that his administration's focus remains on the people of Kaduna State. You're watching our Daily News Roundup. We'll go for a short break. More news stories on the business front when we return.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. The All Progressives Congress (APC) in Lagos State has hailed China's decision to accept the Nigerian naira for trade transactions, describing it as a landmark development and a major step towards Nigeria's economic recovery under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Party spokesperson Sheye Oladejo, in a statement on Monday, said the move will ease Nigeria's over-reliance on the US dollar, reduce pressure on foreign exchange, and strengthen the naira. He explained that businesses, importers, and manufacturers will benefit from lower costs and faster payments in trade with China. Oladejo added that the breakthrough will make imports of essential goods and machinery cheaper, while also opening up the vast Chinese market for Nigerian exports. He said the policy will boost investor confidence and encourage local producers to scale up, knowing their goods can now reach one of the world's largest consumer markets. The APC congratulated President Tinubu, the central bank, and the Ministry of Finance, urging stakeholders to maximize the gains of what it called a visionary economic milestone. The Nigerian Labour Congress (NLC) has raised alarm that the current 70,000 naira minimum wage is no longer sustainable in the face of rising inflation, high food prices, costly transportation, and skyrocketing housing. Acting General Secretary of the NLC, Benson Upa, told the News Agency of Nigeria that Nigerian workers are struggling to survive under the present economic situation, warning that unless urgent action is taken, the crisis of survival will only worsen. The NLC noted that though President Tinubu signed the 70,000 naira wage into law in July 2024, several states have already reviewed salaries above the federal benchmark. Imo State recently raised its minimum wage to 104,000 naira, while Lagos, Rivers, Bayelsa, Niger, Enugu, Akwa Ibom, Ogun, Delta, Benue, Osun, and Ondo states have implemented higher wage structures ranging between 73,000 naira and 100,000 naira. Labour leaders insist the federal government must urgently review the wage again, while states should continue adjusting salaries in line with economic realities to prevent workers from sliding deeper into poverty. On the foreign scene, South Africa has emerged as the United Arab Emirates' second largest non-oil trade partner in Africa, with bilateral trade hitting new highs. The UAE Minister of Foreign Trade, Thani bin Ahmed Al Zayudi, met with members of the South African Business Council in Dubai to explore fresh opportunities for trade, investment, and private sector cooperation. According to Emirates' new agency, non-oil trade between both nations reached $8.5 billion in 2024, a 14% increase from the previous year and up 120% since 2019. In just the first half of 2025, trade stood at $3.93 billion. With over 3,600 South African companies already operating in the Emirates, talks focused on deepening collaboration in food security, logistics, infrastructure, tourism, and renewable energy to drive sustainable growth. U.S. President Donald Trump has vowed to impose fresh sanctions on Russia following Moscow's largest aerial assault on Ukraine since the war began. Russian missiles and drones pounded Kyiv and other cities early on Sunday, killing at least 4 people and setting government offices ablaze. President Trump told reporters he was not happy with the whole situation, while Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky urged for a strong U.S. response, warning that Vladimir Putin was testing the world. Russia, however, insists it targeted only military facilities, denying strikes on civilians. Sunday's attack marks the first time Ukraine's cabinet offices in central Kyiv have been hit in the 3.5-year conflict. Away from the foreign scene now to sports news, 17 nations have now officially secured qualification for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, football's most prestigious tournament. The three host nations, United States, Mexico, and Canada, are guaranteed places, marking the first ever World Cup jointly hosted across three countries. From Asia, Japan, Iran, Jordan, South Korea, Uzbekistan, and Australia have booked their sports. New Zealand emerged victorious from Oceania. South America will be strongly represented with Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, Paraguay, Ecuador, and Colombia, all sealing qualification. Morocco leads Africa as the first CAF nation to qualify. The qualification journey continues in Europe and Africa as fans worldwide count down to the expanded 48-team tournament in 2026. South African striker Lai Forster says the pressure is on the Super Eagles of Nigeria ahead of their make-or-break 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifier in Bloemfontein on Tuesday. The Burnley forward told Sowetan Live that South Africa are exactly where they want to be in Group C, stressing that the real pressure lies with teams chasing them, including Nigeria. Foster said the team must remain humble, take each game step by step, and ensure qualification is sealed for next summer's showpiece in North America. South Africa currently tops the group with 16 points, followed by Benin Republic on 11, while Nigeria sits third with 10 points. Rwanda, Lesotho, and Zimbabwe occupy the bottom three spots. And with our sports news, we come to the end of our daily news roundup for today, right here on Atlantic TV. Do also follow us on all our social media platforms for more news stories and updates. Thank you so much for watching. I am Nkechi Tejeri. Have a pleasant day.
Alright, my name is Desoka, the comedy catalyst of one of Nigerian comedy.
Alright guys, back again, yes boss, my name is Baby.
Yemi Alade.
Yeah, what up people, it's your boy Victor 80.
Girl Ninyola.
My name is my wife and just celebrity type man.
My papa say, who won't carry cow, waka go, waka follow the cow. I know the life for you.
I see you know you're watching the Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV. Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Keep watching Atlantic TV.
Atlantic TV.
Informative, educative, interesting, entertaining.
Worldwide, international.
Don't go anywhere, I'll catch you.
Don't touch that die. Atlantic TV. Boom.
Atlantic TV, we wanna party.
Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
I am SP Dafe Bright and this is Delta State Police Command. Today we'll be treating and addressing an issue that's different from what we've been doing before. Not parading suspect this time, but bringing to you a very important information. Do we know that over 85% of Nigerians do password their phones, whether it's Android phones or iPhones? There's always a password. But how come when we lose our phones, By the time we go to retrieve our lines, we go to our bank to check our bank statement, we discover that these people who collected these phones must have siphoned the phones. Now, there are times the people who steal these phones, it is not your phone that they actually need. What they need is your SIM card. Now, how does the SIM card become useful to them? Not just any SIM card, but a SIM card that is linked to your bank account, the one that you usually use to receive SMS alerts. That is what they need. Now, by the time they collect your phone, steal your phone, rob you of your phone, what they do is that they remove this SIM card from your phone and insert it on another phone. So your phone does not really need to power on. They don't even need you to give them your phone password. They don't even need your ATM password. The moment they have access to your SIM card, they can do anything they want to do with your bank account, because all they need is to generate an OTP, and the message, the OTP that is called one-time password, will be sent to that your SIM card, and with that they can do anything they want to do with your account. That is why people lose millions of their life savings simply because they lost their phone. By the side of this video, we'll be doing an illustration. You will see an illustration that talks on how you can password your SIM card. Now, the topic that we are here to discuss, passwording of SIM card. When you get a phone, pick that your phone now. See how you can password your SIM card. If you password your SIM card, by the time for any reason, your phone gets to the wrong hand, even if they remove your SIM card and insert on another phone, the first thing that you will get is a prompt that you should enter your SIM PIN. The moment they cannot get the SIM PIN, they cannot use your SIM card for anything. After the trial of 3, the POC prompt will come because the SIM card will be blocked, and you can only unblock that SIM card when you have the POC number. Some of us don't have our SIM pack, because on the SIM pack it is written there the SIM PIN and the POC number. But because some of us don't have our SIM pack, I would advise you to quickly locate the nearest office of your service provider, be it Airtel, Globalcom or MTN. Approach them and request for your POC number. Once you've gotten your POC number, you follow these instructions and ensure that you password your SIM PIN. Your SIM PIN is very, very important. On my phone, for instance, once you turn off the phone and you turn it back on, you must enter your SIM PIN. If you cannot enter your SIM PIN, the SIM card will be useless. And I'm telling you, once they cannot have access to your SIM card, your money will be safely in the bank. They cannot have access to. There was a time I lost my phone, and it took me about 2 weeks to go to MTN office to retrieve my SIM card. Why did I wait 2 weeks? Because I knew I had a SIM PIN. I knew they would not have access to my bank account. I knew they cannot even use my SIM card for anything. Some of these people, when they steal phone, we'll be hoping that, we'll track the phone. Some of them don't even sell the phone. They will just condemn the phone and just get the SIM card to see if they can have your money. Please, they say a word is enough for the wise. It is very, very important. Don't see this video and just pass it by. Watch this video to the end. We're almost approaching the end of the video. Ensure that you take the lesson. Please password your SIM card. They say a stitch in time save 9. It's very, very important. Make haste when the sun shines. Not be to come. You don't have to start running and start saying, what do I do? What do I do? When you can prevent it. Let's not forget, prevention, they say, is better than cure. Thank you.
Atlantic TV, culturally inclined and uniquely different. Atlantic TV. Culturally inclined and uniquely different.
Don't miss out on exciting news, events, and more. Stay connected by following us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, it's Trending O'Clock, and you know this is where we'll talk about all the trending gist on the internet. I am Mercy Irabo, and I am never alone in the studio. I have with me the beautiful, gorgeous E to the N to the K to the A to the Y and K.
Thank you so much, Mercy, for that.
Thank you for joining me on Trending today. And you know how we do it here?
Of course.
Are you ready?
Let's chop it like it's
all right. Okay, so our first gist today is this powerful condemnation of loan apps by Pastor Paul Eneche, the founder of Dunamis International Gospel Center. So he said that loan app is not a good one for Nigerians, that it's a negative influence, and then that they signed this agreement, like the owners of loan apps signed this agreement with some agents of debt. I'm not the one saying it. Well, let's see the footage.
That those loan app people are in covenant with the spirit of death. Yes, I say that without apology because many people have literally committed suicide and many are on the brink of suicide. They beg people to get the loan. They plead with people. They appear on people's screens. They are very good. They are planning to help you. They don't want you to be embarrassed. They don't want you to be under financial pressure, not knowing that the master of all pressure is the pressure from them. By the time people succumb and pick that loan, that is when you realize that devils exist. They harass the hell out of your life. I don't know the time they have. Maybe it's an automated phone call or text message system. We are going to deal with you. In fact, I hear that sometimes they publish people's obituary. Yes, message to your contacts. We are going to publish your details online. We are going to let the world know that you are a criminal. They should never deal with you. May God deliver this generation.
Amen.
May you never be a victim of such agents of the devil. In Jesus' name.
So we just heard it. He said there are traps for many people and they keep falling into them. Madam Enke, what's your take on this?
Well, I kind of understand where he's coming from because, I mean, I have actually been sent such messages before. Yeah. I mean, a friend of mine who allegedly was involved.
I think this, everybody have received
that messages that this person is from this person is a fraud, this person is this, we'll catch him, we'll arrest him, we'll do all kinds. Sometimes when I ask them, they say they never took money from such loan apps. But I think I understand where he's going to, because sometimes these people, they lure you to collect money from them. And then when it becomes like you're not paying back, it's difficult for you to pay back, they begin to threaten you and send you all kinds of messages. But aligning it to spiritual aspects, that's the one that's...
Yes, that's the thing. But the truth is, it's actually really bad. I one time like that, I saw this picture of my friend, should I say this flyer, obituary and all of that, with her own Facebook account. So I was surprised. I was like, why would she be posting? If she's dead, then who is posting it? So I tried reaching out to her, and she said she doesn't even know how come these people got her details, everything, that they even sent it to some of her contacts and all of that. And you know the funniest part, they were still calling her, begging her to pay.
To pay.
And I was like, so tell them that you are dead.
She collected money.
Yeah, she said she actually collected, and she's been trying to pay, but you know, the economy and all of that, she's not been able to pay. But the truth is, I told her, I said, tell them you are dead, and the dead cannot pay loan. Like, how can you publish somebody's obituary,
I mean,
and you want this person
length
to still pay the debt. That is totally uncalled for. And
yeah, I think that's why he's linking it to the demonic aspect now, because sometimes it doesn't sound normal.
Yeah.
But you know, these things happen, right? I mean, I feel like they usually take these things too far. It's okay if someone borrows money from you, takes a loan from you, and then you give the person a certain period of time to pay. If the person doesn't pay within that period of time, there should be a time of grace, sort of, to say, okay, we've given you extra time. If you don't pay within this extra time, we would publish your names.
Yeah.
But going ahead to starting an obituary, are you declaring the person dead? So if the person dies, how does the person now pay back
the loan?
So I think those are the extremes.
Yeah, and I understand where he's also coming from. That so many, just imagine somebody that this person is just passing through a lot and decided to, like, let me just secretly take this loan, and then you're announcing it, you're publicizing it, and all of that. It might end in depression, and this person commits suicide and all of that.
So cases of that has happened.
Yeah, and they claim that this whole thing is actually written on their terms and conditions. And you know, we Nigerians, we don't read terms and conditions.
We don't read.
They will go any length to get back their money. So any length. Publishing the obituary flyer.
So this is any length.
Yes,
that's why
any
I tell people, if you know you cannot follow up with something, don't start it. Don't start what you know you cannot finish.
Exactly.
It's better I ask for money from you than I take a loan that I don't even know how to pay. Because sometimes people take these loans and they don't have plans to pay back. They don't know how they're going to pay back. Because probably they want to use it to do a business, and the business doesn't work out, and then the money is gone. And then they start struggling to pay back. So if you're not sure of how you want to complete something, I would advise you don't start it. So you don't put yourself under unnecessary pressure, and then you begin to receive threats from here and there that will push you to do things that you are not supposed to do. So avoid it as much as possible.
That's a very free advice from NK to you. Don't start off something you know you can never finish.
Exactly.
And I think that this whole loan thing is something that we Nigerians really need to think well. And I know we don't read terms
and they pop up conditions.
On your phone. Exactly. One time like that, they even called one of my friends. They called her, hello, we're calling from this. We want to tell you that you're entitled, you're eligible for this amount of loan. And she was like, I don't need loan, thank you. Like, they were pressurizing her to take this loan. You want her to take the loan. At the end of the day, you start dragging these people.
And then
most times they come with this whole enticing thing, and just be like, and they make it look like the thing is very easy. It's just for you to take it. You can pay back whenever you feel like. And you read terms and conditions, because like this, you can never sue them, because they will tell you it is boldly written there.
So if you don't
any
read it,
length,
you miss it.
Any length to get back our money. So let's try as much as possible to read terms and conditions.
You know, someone once said that if you want to hide information from a black man, put it in a book. Because he knows that the black man will not read that.
He will not read. And you know the funniest thing about these terms and conditions? They're always lengthy and very tiny. You know those things that will be so tiring to read.
When you want to open a bank account, they give you the form to fill. There are terms and conditions behind that you have to read. Because if you don't read it, I think there is a column you need to mark that you have read the terms and conditions.
And the truth is, most times we just go there.
We just go there.
We don't read. We just go there. Tick. I accept.
Please, from today, start reading.
Read what you accept,
so that you will know what you are putting your hands into.
So you will know if you are even signing your debt warrants. You won't know.
You don't know. Please read.
All right. So that's that on that. Let's try as much as possible to read our terms and conditions before signing, before saying I accept. Well, that's on that. Yes. So Prophet Odumeji is trending again. He's back in the spotlight, and this time around, it's not about deliverance, prophecies, or comedy skits.
The in-the-book skit.
So he said that he won't die; he will just fly away, like Elijah, that went like a wild wind with chariots of fire to heaven. So he said that he will just fly away; nobody will see his corpse. Prophet Odumeji. The one thing about this man is that
in the boski,
he knows how to keep trending. He knows how to make it to the headlines, and he knows how to
He
keep
trends
being
for very
there.
controversial
You understand?
things. I don't know.
Even me, I
the
don't know,
last time
just-
he released the music, and I thought that music actually went viral.
Yes, it did.
It went viral, but I don't even know where to place that music. But I started hearing it in lounges and clubs and the rest of them.
He featured somebody.
He featured Flavor.
Flavor,
in
yeah.
it. Now this man has come out again in the spotlight to say he's going to that nobody will see his corpse.
Exactly.
I think he was preaching in his church, telling his congregation that, and then he said he's the second biggest preacher after TB Joshua. He made mention of that, saying that nobody would see his corpse, as he would just go, that his time on earth is very short.
It's very funny.
Sir, you need to be calming down. I know you are the Indabuski, but you need to be calming down. Yes, a lot of things are exaggerated, especially.
Yeah.
I don't know, the preachers of nowadays, I don't know. They tend to deviate from the message of Christ to the message of themselves.
Most of them, they just want to keep trending.
They
And
just
for
want
this
to keep
man, I wouldn't
trending.
really call him a controversial preacher like the way people tagged him to be. I just feel this man is just a content creator. He just wants to keep creating content.
He even made it worse.
He just wants to keep creating content. I'm sure he gets money because he knows how to keep trending. Like he's always doing it. I don't know if it's
He knows how to get
intentionally.
you to keep talking about
him.
Yeah.
Like I think for some time when I was not really heard about him, and I just thought of what should I do?
It just came out of
I
the
will not
blues.
die. I will just
But
fly
I mean,
away.
so what should we use that information for? Since we're not going to see your corpse, what are we going to use information for?
Maybe he's using it for evangelism.
I mean,
to win souls.
I feel like people should focus. If you say you are a preacher, you are called to preach. I think people should focus on that. However you're going to go, it's not for us to decide. We're not there when you supposedly, allegedly said that this was your mission. In fact, he said his mission was to preach the gospel, Abi. So now he has fulfilled his mission and his time on earth is now short. Sir, we are here watching.
I don't know if
there's very clear.
If there's something that we don't know that he knows that we don't know. I think
we are watching.
There's actually more to this whole thing. But the truth is, like I said, you love him or not, one thing is certain: this man actually knows how to trend. And Mercy is here to keep bringing the gist as soon as they drop. So our third story today. Social media activists. Vincent Martins Ose, popularly known as Very Dark Man, is back again shaking tables, this time around with EFCC. So this fight is not a new fight. I think he just decided that let me resume this fight, because this whole thing happened, I think it started May this year when the EFCC arrested him. But we saw that kind of arrest like kidnap, because it wasn't really looking like arrest. So after then, he said they refused to give him back his phones. Imagine since May, and this is August, you are still holding back his phones. Well, let's see the footage. Let's hear what he has to say.
Boss are there. Go and track them and ask them. Very Dark Man don't do fraud. Like I said, EFCC. Please. Take me to court this week or give me my phone. Let me help the Nigerians that I want to help. Thank you very much. And don't play. If you play, you go and learn.
So Very Dark Man is this man that I think is this
He's
only
very
person that can dare EFCC. Like he feels he doesn't really have any sin. Like, I dare you to charge me to court or return my phone.
You know, Very Dark Man is someone who is very audacious. And is someone who will tell you as it is. He doesn't care who you are or whatever you represent. He will tell you as it is.
As it is,
And I think that's one thing that has endeared many Nigerians to him. You know, the fans he has, love the fact that he's very blunt and he's very passionate about the people that he's speaking up for. Now, I don't know, for whatever reason EFCC apprehended him, and decided to go through his phone. of which that is not supposed to be their job anyways. But holding on to his phone since May, and this is September, that's a long time. Whatever they needed to have gotten, they should have gotten it by now. Or if not, I would just see that as you know, when person say they find trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
So I feel like the EFCC should come out clean and tell us what it is they have with VDM.
Yeah.
And if it's not something that has to do with his phone, I think they should release his phone. Probably they may have forgotten that they actually took his phone.
How can you forget somebody's gadget?
I mean, what better explanation would you want to give for it? I feel like there is something that is hidden that we don't know about.
That we don't know.
That is between VDM and EFCC, or probably someone is sponsoring it.
I feel somebody might be sponsoring it because if
there is no phone, he will not have $1 million to talk. You know, so the man will buy food tomorrow.
Because if there's really anything fishy, I'm not sure Very Dark Man will be bold enough to come online to say,
take me to court.
I dare you to charge me to court. And that's the right thing to do.
Yeah,
if there's something in his phone, if you've seen anything, charge him to court. Why should you just hold on to his phone? And then his lawyer came out some time ago to say that they logged him out of his iCloud and everything. He doesn't even have access to anything.
To limit his access to do certain things.
I don't know, this is not supposed to be so. It's only Nigeria that we get to see things like this.
We tend to see people who are influential, who have the power to do whatever, you know, influence, even these government agencies. You see people who, they don't have any reason to, but they call on the police, they call on the EFCC, they call on these agencies, go and take down this person, go and bring this person down, go and arrest this person, just for their own personal gains, just because they have the power to do it. So I feel like someone is behind it, or the EFCC should come out and tell us what VDM's his offense is, right? And of course, if it needs to be charged to court, if VDM has said, charge me to court, take me to court, or give him his phone. So if you feel there is something fishy, I think you should just take it up in a legal way.
Well, we know that AFCC will respond soon. They're always responding. In fact, at a point I was like, hope these ones are not content creators too, because
if they don't respond, then we'll know that there is something
exactly
fishy.
So I know they will respond soon, and once they respond, sure, I'll bring them to you as soon as they drop. So let's see how that case will end. Yes, for our last story today, imagine waking up in the morning and you step outside your apartment and you find this new notice from your landlord that no wearing of short skirts and no form of romantic involvement will be tolerated in this compound.
Okay.
So, let's see the footage.
The landlord is very, very serious. See here, Kaswa, notice, no wearing of short skirts, no hookup activities. You see? So you have to take notes. No wearing of short skirts, no hookup activities. It's very good. Some of you rent house, you be wearing your mini skirt up and down, seducing people's husband up and down. You meant to stop wearing boxer up and down.
So you heard it. Like, okay, in as much as I know that we're not supposed to support indecent dressing and all of that, but the truth is, I think there's supposed to be boundaries to these things. Why should my landlord tell me what to wear in my apartment?
Okay, so I'm in my house.
Yeah.
I should not wear mini skirts. No hookup activities, I can understand. It's not a brothel. But hey, it's a landlord, Abi. My house, my rules. You know, when you watch Big Brother Naija, they will tell you, this is Biggie's house. Biggie's house, Biggie's rules, right? So, Nami gets house. So if you're coming in to stay in my house, these are my rules. It's either you stay or you go. And I also feel like the landlord coming out to say such, maybe he has seen a lot of stuff before. Maybe previous tenants have shown him this kind of traits and it wasn't pleasant. And so for future tenants, this is what I don't want, probably. But then again, I feel like these are strict rules.
Strict rules.
Strict rules.
The truth is,
for the hookup, I can understand.
Of course.
You know, but no wearing of short skirts. I mean, I'm in my house.
Okay, the truth is,
It's
you
not a
just talked
church.
about maybe he has seen some in the past and he's trying to avert some. But the truth is, have you really met some terrible landlords? They will keep creating rules, until they frustrate you and you pack out of the house. So this one coming out
Sometimes
to say
they
no
will
wearing of
increase rent
the rent
without
just
giving you notice or telling you whatever it is for.
So for this one coming out to say no wearing of short skirts, I know tomorrow you might just wake up and say no laughing in this compound after 8 p.m.
No Jen after 8 p.m.
That one is normal. In fact, go to Benin.
Oh
It's
my
very
goodness.
normal. Landlord will tell you once it's this time, you don't need to put on your
No
gen.
noise.
If you even put on your gen, they will put it off.
Oh wow.
You cannot put on. That's why I said, have you really stayed in apartments with?
That's
why
crazy.
people try when people are trying to rent an apartment, they just say, please, I need apartments with no landlords because they're tired of this whole landlord saga every
So if
now
the
and
landlord
then.
is staying in the compound, that's where the big issue is.
That's when the issue keeps coming because he must react to everything.
And you know, people do these things now that, you know, getting a house can be quite cumbersome,
Yeah.
very, very difficult.
Yeah.
Because of the skyrocketing, you know, the rent fees and the rest of them. But then again, I feel like landlords should begin to be human in terms of think like people who don't even have a house. You're trying to help someone who doesn't have a house. Putting all these rules, I don't like. To me, it's unnecessary.
Very
It's
unnecessary.
very unnecessary. As long as the tenant keeps to the basics, pay your rent when you're supposed to pay your rent. If there are any light bill or water bill or whatever, you pay them. As long as the person is paying when he has to pay or when he ought to pay, I think that should be the major thing.
So imagine I'm going for a party which the dress code is a mini skirt.
You
so
wear
I
your
have to
boo-boo gown. When
put
you
on my
reach the
boo-boo
gate,
gown when I
you
get there.
change to your skirt, and then when you're coming back, you change outside before you enter.
Before you step
I
in.
mean, what
Like
kind
that
of,
is
what
terrible.
kind of stress
It was
is
supposed to
that?
be an
That's
apartment,
stressful.
not
That's
a church
stressful.
gathering or anything.
Yeah, I
like
get it.
this is terrible. So let me ask you,
So
watching.
how would the landlord now know who is doing hookup inside the house? Are you going to be knocking on the houses every night to check?
The moment
who
I
and
saw
who is
that
there?
thing, one thing I just said is, do they bring them to the house? Like, did they change that place to a brothel or something? Because I don't know. Somebody can
That's why I
actually
said
be there
probably
doing.
he has seen things in the past that had made him put this, you know, rules. So if you're coming in now, these are the rules. He doesn't want this, and probably he has had encounters with previous tenants. You never can tell because we see that happen. Yeah.
Interesting. Different things we see here in
Yeah,
Nigeria
so
and on the internet. And you know
different
that I
strokes
am
for different
always
folks.
here to bring them as hot as they drop. Yes, let me ask you watching. So if you wake up in the morning and you find that kind of notice, will you obey or just pack your things and go?
That's a big question.
You know, you can engage with us on all our social media platforms. Drop your comments and we'll respond to them on Facebook, on YouTube, on Instagram at Atlantic Media and TV. Well, today let's call it a wrap on trending on Viewpoint. I'm sure you enjoyed yourself. I enjoyed myself, and I know that.
I did.
So it was really a nice time here on Trending, and even on Viewpoints, from the dailies to the dialogue to the news, and now on Trending, we enjoyed every bit of it.
Yes.
And tomorrow, you don't want to miss tomorrow's edition of Viewpoints because we're bringing hot gist even on Trendy. You know how we do it.
Exactly.
All right, this is where I have to say, see you same time tomorrow. Once again, I am Mercy Irabo, and I still have
Nkechi Tejere is my name. We're saying bye.